folks. Thanks to the gentleman who bought the Dragonfly, I actually had enough money to buy a new sharpening system and a new low-speed grinder. I've been sharpening with the homemade rig that I've welded up, and don't get me wrong, it works. It just, well, it's really ugly, and I only had the one fitting for it, and I made a fingernail jig for it, but it was really hard to use because everything had to have a wrench. You had to have a wrench to tighten this. And I was just a little tired of fighting with it. And since I actually did get paid for making the Dragonfly, I decided I would go ahead and splurge a little on myself, and I got a new grinder and a new sharpening system. Well, the PSI sharpening system was a lot less expensive than the Wolverine, and from the reviews I've read, it's pretty close to the same. There's a few things that I'm already going to have to fix, like the skew pocket thing that goes on the big slide out. The hole's not threaded for the bolt that they sent with it, so I'm going to have to get a tap. I think it's an M5, and I don't have an M5 tap, so I'll have to pick one of those up and tap it, and then it'd be just as good as the Wolverine one. I've used the Wolverine one. My brother actually has that system. It's a great system, but by the time you get all the tools together for it, it's kind of expensive. So I settled on the PSI, and so I was going to do a quick video here of putting it in, because I saw some of the reviews on the PSI, and people were like, well, you got to jack up the grinder. It's like, well, yeah, you got to do that for the Wolverine too. I mean, you've got to do it for all of them, as far as I know. So I've already made my 1-inch block and got my holes pre-drilled for the bolts. And I know about where I'm going to put it. It's like right here. This is where the old grinder was. I've already moved it. And so we're going to start there. We'll drop it up to high speed, and away we'll go. saying. This is the skew grinding jig. It's supposed to go on there, and then this knob's supposed to tighten up. Well, the thing came without this hole here threaded, so I'm going to have to get me a, I believe that's an M5. Not sure. Maybe you guys can tell me. You can't see it. Never mind. Anyway, so we'll do that, and voila. Here we go. New sharpening station. Well, I got it set up. Why don't we sharpen something? I got this bowl gouge that doesn't have an Elsworth grind on it. And I've been intending to do that. There's a gouge, if you can see it. Let's point that up a little bit. So anyway, it's just got the regular flat, I don't know, I guess flat grind. You can put this grind on with just the pocket and kind of rolling it. It's real simple. I'm going to turn it into an Elsworth grind. So first thing we'll do is we'll cut it back the angle that we want. I'm going to pretty much do that by putting the tops of the flute onto this flat one. This is my coarser wheel on this one. I've actually got another wheel coming that's going to make this the coarse wheel, and this one's pretty damn fine. And that one looked like it was a little out of balance when I flipped it on there a minute ago, so we'll see. The front's running true, but the sides, it's wobbling side to side a little bit. Hey, it's only 1725 RPM. That's way better than the 3600 I was running before. So I've got a block here that makes it, it's 2 inches back from the edge, so I can set the jig against it. And put the nose of the tool up against the block and voila. Okay, so there we are in our jig, nice and simple. And then we're going to remove the bulk of the material. I'm going to use the heavy wheel here. So, my bevel on the front of this is actually about where I want it. I might sweep it back a little bit more, but it's about where I want it. But what I want to do is run that same bevel up the sides and give myself a nice, well, the Elsworth grind or the Irish grind, whichever you want to call it. So, I don't know how well we can zoom in on what I'm about to do here. Not real well. The lighting on this side of the crane is not that fantastic. There we go. So this will show you a little bit what's going on here. Yep, I'm going to sweep it back a little bit. So, here we go. So you can see we're making some progress now. Whee! There we go. The flats aren't quite as wide as they were, and it's starting to look more like the Irish grind. I'm going to keep going. To less than half a millimeter of flat on top on either side, and the grind goes all the way around. There's just that little tiny black point at the tip. Let me see if I can get this thing. There we go. You see that little black triangle on the point there is where I have not ground at all on the point. I've just kind of been slowly there toward the end when I was blending it in with that rougher wheel. So now I'm going to put it on the fine wheel and go ahead and take it the rest of the way down and sharpen it. That's it. She's sharp. Now, I did not go through the process of getting the perfect angle and everything. I wanted just mainly, I had somebody asking me on Facebook one day about making an Irish grind on a chisel that was ground with a different grind. And I thought, well, hell, you know, would be a good video. And I have one gouge left for it. However, I wanted to wait until I got this new system, which meant waiting until the dragonfly came to fruition, and it did. And so here we are. But yeah, that's how I do it, guys. I ain't saying it's the only way, the right way. It's just the way that works for me. And hell, it looks pretty to me. So anyway, you guys have a good night.